his mom is out there and he's missing. And he's been missing for 25 years now, and his mom doesn't know, and his sisters don't know what happened to him. And I just really would like to find out who he is, and at least let his family know.
Okay. Yeah. That's where my brother Dane is buried.
Okay.
That's where my mother's buried. That's where my grandfather's buried. I'm not sure if my Uncle Bob is buried.
I'd really like to know. Nobody's.
And then they've got the little girl that's buried on the one in further down Cleveland. They got the two little small ones that just like you pull right off the side of the road. They're real small. They got a little girl that's buried in one of them that they don't know who she is.
Where'd she come from?
They found her dead on the side of the road.
Dead on the side of the road when?
It was hit, 90s. This was a newer one.
It was hit?
Yeah.
By
She'd been hit. It was a hit and run. They don't know who she was.
Well, you think if she's
younger girl, she was like 8.
You'd think her parents would be around the area.
Yeah.
So you guys help with that kind of stuff too, then?
We try to. We got a couple of members of our group that's psychic. They do the police work and stuff, the psychic detectives type stuff, trying to help, just whatever feelings they get.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I'm a big one. Unless I can see it, it's not proof to me.
Right.
And unless they can actually prove they're a psychic, I don't buy it. I'm very skeptical.
You said you know too, though, in the area.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. They're in the area?
Yes.
Okay. Because psychic is good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, that's been a request of the priest.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're psychics, I'd like to meet them.
You have Brenda and Lisa, the one that was doing the smudging Saturday for you.
Okay.
With the feather.
Mm-hmm.
Both them are. Lisa and her mom actually does it for the police and stuff, helping them out. Brenda's very psychic too.
Lisa, Brenda's friend?
Mm-hmm.
They do it for the police?
Yeah.
Since when?
Her mom does.
Oh, her mom does.
Yeah,
okay.
And then Brenda helps her out.
Did they actually solve anything?
They've solved a few, and Elkhart helped out.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm a different kind of psychic, so I'm not psychic, I wouldn't say, but I more or less can pick up on. I can't see the future. I can't necessarily tell you who did it, but I can sometimes see what happened.
More of an empathist.
Yeah, more of an very empathetic, very much.
Brenda and Lisa, they've impressed me. There's like 3 psychics I've ever met that's actually impressed me.
Did I impress you? You're hungry right now.
I'm not. I'm good.
You're always hungry.
But, Brenda and Lisa has really impressed me. They've gotten a lot of stuff dead on. Brenda, we took her to her school one time, and she described this principal that they believe was haunting the school. He wore horn-rimmed glasses. Right down. Even got his name that it started with a V. We went out in the hallway, and they have plaques up on the wall showing the classes. In 1930, the principal was Mr. Valentine, had the horn-rimmed glasses exactly as she described them. Mm-hmm. And then Lisa, not the Lisa that you met, there's a Lisa from a previous group from IGT. Mm-hmm. They didn't tell her what it was, took her into a home, and the lady of the house had ended up committing suicide in the basement. She put a shotgun under her chin and blew her head off. And she had wrote what they thought was a suicide note. And they didn't show them the note. They put the note inside a notebook and handed it to them and told them to write down whatever they felt. Mm-hmm. This Lisa wrote down the last line of the suicide note word for word without ever seeing the note. Yeah. To me, that impressed me.
That's Lisa from your group?
No, this is from IGT.
Lisa. She doesn't,
Lisa in Fort Wayne?
No. This is
this is Lisa Gray. I'll contact her. Let her know.
I asked her.
She's in the area.
Next to her, and she picked up on my mother's. Never told her my mother's name. She picked up on my mother's first and middle name, my father's first and middle name, and my grandparents' names. Never talked to her about my family.
That really impressed me when she could get it word for word.
She me and said, "Who's Gladys?" And I said, "What?" And she goes, "I want to know who Gladys is because someone's telling me about Gladys. That's my mother's name." She goes, "Gladys Rose. I want to know who Gladys is." And I'm like, I've never told her my mother's name. Mm-hmm. There's no way she could have known my mother's middle name. And she just pulled up. Whoever she was talking to had to be an older. That's not because they were pulling up older names from the family, but she can pull up family names. I can't do that. I can do feelings. Sometimes you can see what happened, but it's more past. There's nothing in the future. I don't hear, people, except for that one, I don't hear things, I don't, unless I'm in a situation, I don't hear or see what happened. Sometimes I can walk into, we have a family plot out at South Lawn Cemetery, If you walk into that family plot, you can step outside the wood and you're fine. You step inside and you are almost sick to your stomach. And in that family plot, I think mostly everyone can feel it was a very abusive family. He was very domineering, very abusive to all of his children. And it's an older plot, and both me and Brenda both did it. And we both almost got sick from some of the things, so things like that. Not that that's helpful in any way, but occasionally,
Is that because somebody told you that first?
No, it's because I stepped into the family plot, and I just was overcome with,
And that was the thing with the
feelings
house
that I
too.
got.
When they took her in there, it was actually Whitus the one who took everybody into it. And like I say, he didn't tell anybody anything about the history of the house, nothing. The house was completely cleared out, it was completely vacant. And one of the things they also picked up was that they believed the daughter was the one that shot her. That it was a fight over the gun, and the daughter accidentally pulled the trigger.
Right.
And come to find out later, after we started doing the research, because he had everybody write stuff down in their own notebooks, we brought it back to the library, he went through and told the story, and one of the things he pointed out was that the daughter refuses to go back into that house after the mother died. She would not go back into the house. And that's one of the things that let us think, maybe she did have something to do with it,
Was she there when it happened?
Yeah, she's the one who found her.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So,
And it was in the police report, too, that, they thought that maybe the daughter may have had something. It's right in the police report. He had that with him.
All right.
So.
Yeah, I didn't know that, you guys.
I mean, we have psychics in our group, but like I said, we can't base an investigation on psychic feelings and stuff.
No.
We can use that to back up our stuff. But, like, if they get a name, we'll go back in the plot records, see if anybody by that name lived in the house. And if they did, then yeah, hey, that's something we can use. But if they just say, I feel this, I feel there's a presence there, a girl or something, we can't use that, We got to have evidence backing that up. Because, we are trying to be more scientific, trying to gather the data. And then if the house is haunted, we never say a house is haunted, We say, here's the evidence that we collected, you decide. If we get a picture, if there's a full body apparition, a ghost standing right in the center of our picture, we'll say, this is a picture we got, you guys decide what it is.
Maybe they're going.
Yeah. And we've had pictures before,
Yeah.
We had an old insane asylum. We're standing in the barn, took a picture, and there's a man standing there in a doctor's outfit. You can see him.
Is that it?
And there's
Florida
nobody there
County?
that was, and there was nobody there that was dressed like that.
No.
You see his stethoscope around his neck, the 3-button white shirt.
When did I see that picture?
Yeah, there was the one in the barn. He's standing to the right-hand side.
What was he doing in the barn? Yeah, we had a very haunted. Unfortunately, it burned down. On the 3 hot spots in the place, the 3 places with the most paranormal activity, it burned down in those 3 places. Now, it is a very, very active place. That was where I picked up on Timmy. So, it was cute. I picked up on a 7-year-old, and he had died of tuberculosis or something like that, and I had a sinus infection. I was really sick, and I couldn't talk very well, and I had the symptoms of like I had tuberculosis because I was coughing, and I just got this feeling. This little boy basically kind of said, "Are you gonna die?" And I said, "No, I'm gonna be okay. I was a little bit sick right now," and that's when I think the door opened, and the door just started opening, and I think, if I remember correctly, a ball came or
that
something.
Was back. I wasn't there on that one. That was the
he
first
wasn't
time.
there. A door opened, and this ball just rolled out, and we're like,
That was the one spot that I
I ain't going to the
touched
closet.
I was by myself in the basement taking pictures. I had my hand out taking a picture. Nobody else around me. Nobody else in the basement. Something smacked my hand down. It's like, what could it be? I'm trying to think, maybe something fell from the ceiling, I'm looking around, there's nothing on the ground. It's one of them things that you just can't explain,
But it was,
Just the personal experience that we had.
And I may not have been picking up on someone that was actually there. I could have been picking up on the fact that this was at one time a tuberculosis hospital. So I could have been picking up, maybe he wasn't actually there, but just picking up on the
Your mind
feelings of
messing with you,
people
playing
that-
tricks on you?
Playing tricks on you as possible. They were down at the tuberculosis hospital in Louisville.
Waverly Hills. We went down there.
Oh, that place. I've never been there, but you hear stories about how much sadness is there because it was a tuberculosis hospital.
60,000 people died there.
You know.
When you get a place that has that much death in it, there's going to be feeling. It's going to feel different for you. And it's kind of hard because, a place like that, you go in there, you know all the stories when you go in. So, it's hard to discern what's your mind, trying to make up for it, or is it just something really happening? So that's why we have to rely on all our equipment and stuff like that. Go through, make sure we actually got something.
Do you always follow up with having these places, blessed? And
We do if they request it.
If they request
A lot of, we just want to document. That's what our group does.
correct.
If they want, blessing and stuff like that, then yeah, we can do that. We can follow up and do all that for them. We have no problem doing that.
When you were talking to me, I asked that I just I was assuming they were abandoned places.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some are, some isn't. Waverly Hills are trying to turn it into a bed and breakfast. So they do. You should see the place. It's gutted. It's this big 5-story, huge mental hospital. And they got a 400-foot death tunnel carved right down through the mountain. And, they're trying to fix it up. That's what they're doing there. And they're charging tours to go through it. And it's $50 for 4 hours or $100 all night. And, when